Welcome back. Part two of listening to Bob Dylan for the very first time, and I didn't iron my shirt for you, so I'm sorry. I'm a little wrinkled today, but you'll get over it because it's not about an iron shirt. It's about Bob Dylan. So these are what I call the heavy hitters. 5 albums that to me I'm a little more that were more my wheelhouse, more what I liked. And the first three that I will be showing will be Highway 61 Revisited, um, Blonde on Blonde, and John Wesley Hardy. These all came from the Bob Dylan mono box set. That's why those three are there. Then I wanted two more, and obviously he has a huge catalog, so I based it really upon people that have given me comments and said, these are the ones, this is, everybody has their thoughts on the best Bob Dylan albums. We all have our thoughts on every group, right? So I kind of listened and see what most people liked. And the two that came up the most often was Blood on the Tracks and Desire. So those are the ones we're going to talk about to give me 5 albums. So that way we have gone through 10 Bob Dylan albums. I'm not going through 15, just 10. So let me pull out my trusty book here with all my notes. And let's talk about these albums. So the first one, the one I'm most familiar with, the one I know more, probably the one that most people know, because in all honesty, it's his most accessible album. It's the one that was played the most on the radio, the one we heard so much about. It's just the iconic Bob Dylan album for those that are not into Bob Dylan. And so this, for me, is just a wonderful, wonderful album. I've always loved this. I mean, it has Like a Rolling Stone, Tombstone Blues, Highway 61 Revisited. Let's just go through my notes. Why don't we do that, okay? So here's what I wrote, as long as I can read them. It came out in 1965, by the way. This was the one where all of a sudden he put the middle finger up on folk and plugged it in, and away we went, which makes it so cool. He was just, it was time to move on. And he knew it, and by God, he did it. So, again, the album I'm most familiar about. I don't know what the heck he's singing about on a lot of the songs. Okay. So, all right, I still can't understand him. Their earlier stuff, actually, I understood him. On this one, I have a hard time. But guess what? It doesn't matter. Because now, the first one's, it's about his vocals. It's about that song. He's telling a story. Now he has this band going on. And so there's a groove happening. There's solos happening. There's all kinds of other stuff. The vocals become almost like an instrument. And yes, there's stories, but there's so much other excitement going on that you're just digging it. You're just going, you're driving, and you're not maybe concentrating on the lyrics. You're enjoying the tune, and that's what I liked about this. Great rocky, bluesy garage rock is my thought on this album. Natural extension from his previous album, Bring It All Home, I believe it was. And he started going electric, and then this thing absolutely, he just blew it. Blew up with it. It's just great. From a Buick 6. More blues, tinge of country. So an experimentation going into more of that country sound. Full band, took away from concentrating on lyrics. All right, that's what I said. It makes you want to dance. I haven't said that on the first 5 albums. This is a Bob Dylan album that makes you stand up and boogie. It's just fun. Build the Man. Cool. Okay, let's see here. What is that one? Ballad of a Thin Man. Ballad of a Thin Man. Very cool organ. Moody feel to it. Queen Jane was my least favorite. Queen Jane, approximately. That was my least favorite. It just didn't have that rock and roll. It was just kind of, it didn't fit in as well. Yeah, I know we want to slow things down at times on albums, but you know, you're really digging and going. Highway 61, a wonderful painting of a cast of characters. And that is what makes it. It's just this beautiful collage of people that he talks about. This is just one good song after another, just like Tom Thumb Blue, Desolation Row. It takes a lot to laugh. You know, there was, if I had only one Bob Dylan album, I mean, this is the one, the commercial one that really did well. And this is the one I would want because I love all the songs except for maybe Queen Jane, sorry. But the others are just, they make me feel good, they make you smile, they make you want to sing, even though you don't know maybe what he's singing, but it doesn't really matter, you just go. So, Highway 61 Revisited, absolutely love that album. Then, 1966, we have Blonde on Blonde. Now, let's open that up. Nice album, isn't that? Again, this mono box set, the cardstock's really good. Very nice looking stuff. I don't think there's anything extra really in this one. Okay, so let's talk Blonde on Blonde from 1966. And we had, this was kind of a, to me, it was a blend of country, rock, and folk. It was like it was all put into a stew. So it's a 2-album set. And it's just like, let's take all of this and throw it all in there. A lot of the songs I knew, but I miss the edginess of Highway 61. It's not about repeating, right? Bob Dylan wasn't that big of a let's repeat and do it all over again. No, let's move on. But you know, that the Highway 61, that garage rock kind of going, it was wonderful. But here he's starting to move in, and more country was taken over is what I have. One of Us Must Know. I said, great piano and organ. Song swells up and down, and just a great song. Memphis Blues Again. Fun song with crazy lyrics. So obviously I understood that. I was listening and was enjoying that one. Blues backbeat, awesome guitar on the brand new leopard skin pill hat. Okay, blues backbeat and awesome guitar. That was a fun one. And which is a song which I knew. This is hard. You know what? The album titles are like right up here or right down there. It's really this freaking crappy how this was made as far as telling what's on it. But leopard skin pillbox hat, I did like that one. There's Just Like a Woman. Beautiful ballad with harmonica, piano, and organ, giving it more depth. I don't always like his harmonica. I think sometimes it takes away. This was a case where it was a ballad, and I felt good. I felt that it fit in there really nice, along with the other instrumentation. Sweet Marie, good rocker. Temporary Like Achilles, didn't like the vocals. That's what I had. I just didn't like the way he sang that. Overall on this album, I liked it. It was good. I like obviously Highway 61 better. Bringing It Back Home, I believe I liked better. For some, this is again, it's their favorite album, and I can see why. Again, he's moving in kind of a new direction, but I do enjoy his faster songs better. So, Blonde on Blonde. John Wesley Hardy. Now, I wrote a lot more on this one, so there must have been more I wanted to think about or heard on here. This came out in 1967. You know, it's kind of nice. You think about a lot of these groups back in the 60s. They're putting out 2-3 albums a year. And Dylan now was keeping it to one a year. You know, he had the power probably to be able to do that and just tell everyone, hey, listen, this is what we're doing. And everyone go, okay, yes, Mr. Dylan, yes, Mr. Dylan. So on here, I had another change of direction. Songs are more melodic. As I went out on, let's see, as I went out one morning, very melodic, great bass part, and I found that to be a very enjoyable song. I dreamed I saw St. Augustine. This really slowed down. I was not a fan of his vocals on there. Maybe it was just a little too slow, and I just didn't like the way he sang it. All along the watchtower, driving bass and drum added to the intensity of the lyrics, and it was that Jimi Hendrix, another Dylan song that someone else takes and makes it his own, which Hendrix did a heck of a job with it. But on here, I thought Dylan's versions, I don't always, sometimes, a lot of times I like the remakes better. But in this was a case where I thought he did a great job because there was this deep intensity that was happening as he was playing that. Frankie Lee / Judas Priest. It was a story with music. Hook it. I don't know. Humorous. I liked it. Obviously, it was humorous, so I must have liked it. It had a lot. Overall, one thing I did notice, this album, the bass was more predominant to my ears. I seem to hear more bass being used in this album. I love a good bass. It presents something. It's a backbeat. I hear it better, and I definitely like that. Landlord, good lyrics, but was not a favorite song on this album. In pity, let's see. I pity the poor immigrant. I pity the poor immigrant. Lots of I like that one. I like that one a lot. The guitar was good, slow countryish song, but I just, it was really well put together. And again, the whole country aspect, it made good sense. It sounded very, very nice. That was really nice. The Wicked Messenger, harmonica. On this was one I thought was a little much, but the tune had an interesting instrumentation. It was very different. Something that was out of the ordinary, just less harmonica. I would have liked it more, but I appreciated that one. Down along the cove. Catchy, finger snapping, cool pedal steel guitar. His voice was very, very clear. I got two varies, folks. Two varies on that one. Wow. I understood what he was singing, I guess, on that. But I love a good finger snapping song. And that one was probably one of my all-time favorites on this album. I'll Be Your Baby Tonight. Full on country. Done with could have done without, but it started a trend. Okay, so all right, maybe a little too much, but it did start. I mean, then we're going in toward the Nashville skyline. You could just see this progression again, which is kind of cool with Dylan. All right, that's one I gotta say. He has progression, and you could see it from album to album as he starts to move and gets interested in something. Sent to Everyone, let's see. Sad to Everyone, Country. I don't know if I know what I wrote there. All right. My handwriting, as usual, isn't good. So, okay, album. I mean, again, I know this is a lot of people's favorites. It is that transformation as we're moving more toward country. Didn't mind it. Some hits, some misses on there. It is kind of interesting how all on the watchtowers on this thing, but down on the cove, pretty neat. Then we move on. So now we're going to jump all the way up to 1975. We're skipping everything in there. Blood on the Tracks. A lot of people have say this is the best Dylan album. I've heard so many of you comment that this is the one. This came out in 1975. Tangled Up in Blue is my first note. Great guitar work. Dylan's vocal adds an extra layer with his excitement and passion. Yeah, it was. And he began singing. I mean, you could just, he was so into that song and he was just throwing himself into it. And it took it to a new level. You know, it's not just about singing, but it's when you put your passion into it. Really liked it. Twist of Fate, good, but I really like the version from a couple years ago. Yeah, one of his ones that he did probably in the aughts or in the teens here. You know, he had a Simple Twist of Fate. He did it again. I didn't know it was on this album. I just thought that was something he had, maybe someone else had made or whatever. But I really, really, really liked it. And I liked it better than this version. And it's probably because he had more of a full orchestration backing him up. You know, I believe, on those albums, it was just, he added more to it. And that's probably why I liked it. More acoustic. This was a more acoustic-oriented album. It felt more intimate than the past few. You're a Big Girl Now had a real beauty to it with the piano, but the sharpness of the harmonica at the end of it ruined it for me. So, yeah, I was really, really loving it, and then just and it was, that the harmonica popped in, and it was just, to me, almost screechy. It took away, you have this beautiful story and song happening, and then, a harmonica really is kind of a boom, pops you in the face a little bit. So didn't dig that one. And let's see, You're Going to Make Me Lonesome, easy to understand, upbeat folk feel to it. Meet Me in the Morning, nice, lazy country feel. Lily Rosemary, there's a whole bunch of people on that one. What's that one called? Lily Rosemary and the Jack of Hearts, that was the one. Great country backbeat and organ. Easy to understand, though cryptic at times. But that's just Dylan, I guess, with the lyrics, keeping it cryptic. But I was understanding what he was saying. Always appreciate that. I See Her, that song, not a fan. Pretty guitar, but did not like his vocals. Shelter from Storm. Good storm, easy to good song, easy to understand, and beautifully done with bass and guitar. And then Buckets of Rain did not excite me. So this was kind of a hit and miss for me. It looks like Shelter from the Storm was definitely one of my favorite songs on here. I do still like Twist of Fate. I just like the one he did before. So a little more hit and miss for me, but some of it I could understand. Again, kind of acoustic. Then the final one that I'm going to talk about, 1976, Desire. This had Hurricane. Loved, loved, loved the violin. The urgency of this music. Still not I don't have a clue what he's singing about. I'm trying to listen. I can't understand him. But damn, that violin. Wow. And it's just, this was just like, hold on to your seats, folks. It's like a hurricane coming. And it had such intensity to it. One of my favorite Dylan songs, probably. I love that one. ISIS. And we're not talking about over in the Middle East right now. A rambling, shambling song that was a lot of fun. Good story, great piano, and violin. Or is it a fiddle? I don't know. Is violin or a fiddle? But I love that. Love the vibes of Mozambique. Yes. Mozambique, wonderful. Female background, nice. Bob was a little grating, but the violins were great. And the female background, Emmylou Harris. I didn't realize that at first until later. I'm reading, I wrote down, I love the female background vocalist. They're fine. That's Emmylou Harris. I wonder why I loved her so much, but absolutely love Mozambique. And again, the violin. I just put violin is setting this album apart from the others. Or fiddle. Oh Sister, didn't like the vocals. But it didn't grate me. So okay. Joey should but got into it. All right, started off bad. Okay, oh, the song Joey. I said Joey started off bad to me, but as it went, I got into it. There was the Romance of Durango. Loved it. Mexican vibe with violins and accordions. Favorite. Horns at the end. Loved it. Oh my God, that was good. I love, give me some horns, man. And if it's a kind of a Latin tinge and a Latin horn section, even better. Yeah, that really was fun to listen to. Dylan stylistically is all over the place on this album, which I like. Okay, Black Diamond Bay, another good story, but also was more easy to understand. So he did this album in one night, by the way, one night. This is my favorite. Of the 10 albums I listened to, I really like this one. Violin, fiddle, whatever you want, Emmylou Harris. Different styles, different things happening. Unbelievable is done in one night. This will be the one that I will play first, then Highway 61 Revisited. Then probably Bringing It All Back Home. The very first Dylan, I did like that one a lot. So there's my 10 Dylan. And this was fun. It's just, you need to do this at times where, we just listen, but we don't listen. And we need to sit down with great artists that, maybe we're not like Dylan. I'm not a Dylan fan. It doesn't mean I don't like him, because I do respect what he's done. And I do like some of his songs, but I don't pull them out. But this one I would. This was really good. So, hey, that was fun to do. We'll probably do that with some other groups as I go along, because there are just people, like the Beatles, like Dylan, that are so big and popular, and I'm just sitting around going, so I don't get it. So, thanks for tuning in on this. Hope you enjoyed the thoughts of someone that doesn't. I don't know. I'm just telling you like I hear it, right? Right or wrong? That's what my ears say. So, I appreciate everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.